Hey everybody, it's been a while I made a video, so it looks like I'm about to make one now. Yeah, it's pretty busy week actually. So yeah, so those who look forward to the videos, well, I hope you enjoy this one. Well, try to keep it short to be fair. Um, but yeah, cause I notice not a lot of people like to watch longer content these days. But anyways, system design, right? Um, I think my first job was about 8 years ago, um, for a company that gathered job data. They would gather the data, clean it, store it, publish the data across multiple platforms for like millions of users. So I joined that company as I think it was as a junior developer, and then I got promoted to developer, then mid-level developer. Then I left the company. But I still remember the it was a small company actually, not in terms of revenue but like people. I remember we would sit across the table, and once a week we'd have a conversation about how things were going. The CTO would sit there as well with senior engineers. The CEO would be there as well. We'd have general conversation, not me but them have a conversation about how things were happening, some issues um, that kept creeping in, some weird stuff with the system that the CEO didn't like. So he would ask the CTO what was happening and all that stuff. But anyway, and I would sit there across the table with people, and um, sometimes I was also asked a few things by CTO, and I thought I answered them pretty well actually, but that was just my impression. What other people thought, I had no clue. But whatever I was asked, I thought I answered them pretty well. Um, but looking back now, one of the major differences between how I spoke and how the CTO spoke with the CEO was that the CTO guy would speak with intention to properly convince and explain the technical stuff um, in a very basic way so that CEO would understand them. And meanwhile, I would explain them just as if I was just trying to convince myself that I was explaining them properly, but the other side didn't was never convinced. Then, as I got more into engineering, spoke to more people, leveled up, joined different companies, smaller companies, bigger companies. I started to realize that I was not in particular I was not really wrong. I just didn't know how to speak properly in a bit more vague, a bit more convincing, non-techy way. But I now I can talk in that way, non-techy way. I can convince why certain technical things have to happen. What's blocking things from happening quicker and things like that. I can kind of explain now. But this came from, I guess the point I'm trying to make, this came from experience, at slow pace, different companies, different people, a lot of work as well, a lot of self improvements as well, in addition to work hours. It came at a slow pace. I had to learn all that, plus the experience itself. It adds up a lot, it holds a lot of weight. Now, what drives me absolutely crazy, and I hope you guys agree with me on this, is that when people want to teach you system design, yeah, when people want to teach you system design, or you want to learn system design, you cannot just skip all the stuff that has to come before system design, all the learning criteria. You're paying your dues, due diligence that on over small things, all little nitty gritty things you have to do, the years of experience you have to gain before you get into system design. That has to happen. You cannot become a system design guy overnight just by watching videos and drawing, make some diagrams, pretty designs, and all that. You cannot become a system design guy just by doing that. There is a process you need to follow. And so that's the point I'm trying to make. If you're trying to get into system design, there's a basic route to follow. You don't have to be a good engineer, but it's good to have some experience, because then whatever you do will make sense. It'll click. Like if I have no experience in tech and I want to become a system design guy, just because just happen to like these things, then I get into actual system design. Then I realize, oh shit, system design it requires programming in some places. It does require programming in some places. What about migration of data? Yes, it's not migration of data. It's not system design, but it's very much tied to system design, right? And if you have never migrated the data, you're not gonna understand the ins and outs. Then you're just memorizing the facts of system design. You don't really have experience. So that's a point I'm trying to make. There's a clear path to get from A to B, and that is to be a half-assed, not a great but okay average developer, and then you go into system design. That's the obvious path. You cannot just become a system design guy overnight just by learning only system design, because like I said, there is a path forward, and that's the path you need to follow. Let me know what you guys think.